I'm super excited to see that we have a bluebird on our bluebird house. Bluebirds are always a bird that we try to attract to the farm. Our plan for the permaculture orchard, which is right behind this bluebird house, is to have it full of not only trees and other perennials, but many different sizes of birdhouses to attract as many different birds as possible. They are super beneficial in a permaculture orchard. Birds play a super important role in the permaculture orchard. Because we won't be spraying any chemicals or pesticides, we'll be relying on nature to help us out and keep those pest numbers in check. And birds do an amazing job of eating lots and lots of those pests, especially if you can get different kinds of birds in there, because they all have a different favorite pest species that they like to eat. So welcome to the orchard, Bluebird. We hope you're happy. Finn and I are coming out early to check the guineas. Got a report from my sister last night, who said she heard lots of coyotes in our yard. Worried a little bit about my guineas because often they choose to sleep outside. We'll see if they're still here. I can see 10 guineas out here. I should have 32 of them. We counted about 18 guineas in here, so we should be close to okay. If they took any, it was just one or two. Ladies, was there a coyote last night? There was. Today's a road trip day. On our 2020 farm plan, we were considering looking at adding another family milk cow, probably another Jersey. So I've been casually watching and happened to see a great deal on a bred heifer named the Pudge. So we are going to take a little road trip today and go take a look at her and see if she is one we want to add to our herd. This is the back of our outhouse. I'm very happy to see that my hypertufa trough has survived the winter and it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. We arranged it so as water drips off the back of the outhouse, it will drip in and fill the trough, and then we use the trough as a bee waterer and lots of other things, it seems. I see the children in it from time to time. I see the cats drinking out of it, the dog drinking out of it. So it's serving its purpose. Here goes Miss Tallulah to try it out. What do you think, Lou? Don't you be looking at my bluebirds. Find something else to do, please. So the real reason that I'm out here this morning is to take a look at my bees. I feel like I could be in the running for the world's worst beekeeper. We got hives, we got bees. Our first winter we lost them, which is not super uncommon in Wisconsin to lose your bees over winter, even if you are a good beekeeper. But I really hadn't done a whole lot to help them out. Just assumed that I would put them here and they would flourish. Not so much that first season. Second season I got bees, and again we were just so busy with everything that I was still a pretty sad beekeeper and I didn't do a very good job. So this spring when I came out, I was pretty much certain all of my bees were going to be dead again, and I just told myself we're not, sorry, I have a cat fight going on. We are not going to do bees this year because I need to wait until I'm ready to commit to getting in there every week or two and checking on them instead of just neglecting them. But when I came over yesterday to take a look at them and took off the top cover to see what was going on in there, I fully expected to only find dead bees, and live bees started flying out. So put the cover back on, ran inside, and called my brother, who is truly an amazing beekeeper. And he gave me some advice. So I noticed this when I walked up to the hive yesterday. Probably a cup full of dead bees right on the ground outside of my hive. And I thought, oh, surely they just gave up and committed suicide midwinter, flew out and died. So when I told my brother that, he said that could actually be a really good sign. That could mean that somebody was alive or is possibly still alive inside that hive carrying out the dead bodies. So let's take a look inside. It is cold and it is rainy. This is not the day you want to go messing with your bees, but what my brother said, well, what he really said was, how much food do they have left? And I admitted that I hadn't gone digging around that far because that's the kind of beekeeper I am, not a good one. So he suggested that first and foremost, I don't celebrate too early. He said, your bees didn't survive the winter. You can't claim that until you have live bees and the first dandelion blooms are out. That's the first thing in our area that blooms. So, meaning they may have survived this far, but they could still run out of food between now and my first dandelion bloom, which is probably a month away. So I said, what can I feed them now? Anything I can do to help them out now, put a band-aid on the situation until they do get that first dandelion bloom. And he suggested giving them a cupful of plain white sugar. So I'm gonna remove the top cover and just sprinkle that sugar around. And we'll see in a couple of days if they've eaten any, if they've taken any. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we can make it to that first dandelion bloom. I don't deserve to have bees this summer, but I would be so very grateful if they could make it that far. So let's take a look. Okay, cover is off. Adding some white sugar around. I'm gonna listen and see if I can hear anything in there. It's really hard to hear anything with a purring cat right next to me. Okay, we are going to leave that there for them. I'll replace their cover, and maybe in a few days we'll be able to tell if there was more than 5 of them that were still alive. All right, so I'm super annoyed. I had 3 kiwi plants. I pretty much knew that 2 of them weren't going to make it through the winter. They were pretty much dead by fall, but I had 1 surviving plant. So when I went to adjust the protective piece of plastic that covers the ground up to maybe a foot so that voles and rabbits and things don't eat my vines, I cracked this off, my only remaining kiwi. So until I can figure out what to do, I'm going to make a couple of cuttings and stick them in water just in case, by chance, I might be able to get them to root. So a nice clean cut. I have rooting hormone, but I have no idea where it is. And I have no idea if you're allowed to do this to kiwi, but the alternative is throwing it out. I don't really want to do that. So this is where I cracked it off. Cut that. It's a nice clean edge. Oh man. The good news is I do have more kiwis on order, but I had high hopes for this guy this summer. I work days, but Scott works nights. So lots of times we don't really know what the other person is up to when we're at work, other than managing the house and managing the farm and managing the children. But I was super excited to come down this morning and came down to the most amazing smell. So it looks like in the night, Scott decided to make some venison jerky. Let's see here. You have no idea how good my house smells right now. So these are trays of venison jerky, and I assume these are probably a combination of beef and venison. He'll grind both and then mix them together. And plain venison jerky tastes amazing. In fact, that's my very favorite. But we always want to make our venison last as long as possible. So oftentimes he'll cut it with beef so that we can have it longer throughout the year. We never seem to get enough deer at deer season. Even though 2 nights ago Tommy was up at the top of the hill and saw 21 deer on our property. But I swear, come hunting season, they migrate somewhere else. They completely disappear. So anyway, we have that to look forward to. It'll be gone very, very quickly. I think we can work with, I want to say 15 pounds of meat at a time is what we usually do. Although sometimes I think we have both dehydrators running, so I'm not sure how much this is. But this is a 9-tray Excalibur dehydrator. I absolutely love it. Although I will say, this model that I got just off of Amazon has been almost equally good. I do actually like one feature better. Let's see here. And that is that this model has stainless steel trays. It comes with them standard, versus the Excalibur you have to choose a higher model or buy more expensive replacement trays. So I've been really pleased with the quality and the stainless steel trays on this one. But the Excalibur is still our standby. That's the one we use most of the time. So anyway, later today we'll have a yummy snack. So thank you, Scott. That's gonna taste really good. It is really cold out here and really windy and wet. We are all very excited to get in there and check on our new girl. We just returned and picked up a little Jersey heifer named Pudge. Hello, Pudge.
Out of the way, cat.
What do you think, Pete? Good. Pudge.
It was up to you.
Pudge.
No, it's what?
Okay. Hello, Miss Pudge. Welcome to our farm. This is the second best Jersey in all of Wisconsin. She's not the first best Jersey because I already own the first best Jersey, Miss Royal. This girl's name is the Pudge. She's a little pudgy. Pudge, are you photogenic at all? We are getting the Pudge all settled in. She's had her grain for the day. She's got plenty of hay now and water. She's met her neighbors, the pigs and the chickens and the barn cats, and she seems like she's gonna settle in really well.